Hi everyone, it's Average Owl making average content for the average viewer. I just want to start by saying a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed to me. At the time of me recording this, I've currently got 115 subscribers, and I'm honestly blown away that I've managed to get to this massive milestone in only 2 weeks. So yeah, thank you guys so much. In today's video, I want to take you on a trip down memory lane and play some GTA 5. Now, it's not going to be a video on how to make loads of money online or anything remotely useful like that, but hopefully it will be fairly entertaining. So back in 2013, I started university, and in the beginning of my freshers week, GTA 5 came out. And like the massive nerd I was, I cycled to game at 9 o'clock in the morning, in the pouring rain, on the day of release, hanging out of my ass, and still in the night before's close, just to pick up my copy of the game. Me and my friends at uni used to love nothing more than sitting in our halls playing GTA and rolling up a nice big juicy burrito. And we came up with this little challenge we used to like to take turns doing, that consisted of getting a car, modifying it as much as we could, and then getting 4 police stars and trying to make it up to the top of Mount Chiliad. I'd love to say that this was a minor aspect of my first year at uni, but honestly, it's probably one of my biggest achievements. So I thought, why not recreate this loving pastime and make some truly amazing content? Or at least try, we'll see how it goes. Now, when me and my friends used to play this, we used to ban ourselves from using Franklin due to his ability to slow down time, but I thought today, since I'm sad enough to be doing this alone, I'd say the rulebook. As you get to know me, you'll soon come to realise that I'm a man of very few rules. But of course, this self-indulgent play backfires immediately. As I swapped to Franklin, he literally couldn't be further away. Like, why the hell must karma punish me in such a harsh and quite frankly unnecessary way? But when life gives you lemons, you steal a black SUV off a woman and leave her stranded in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it isn't that bad really. She should thank me. I'm sparing her from the crushing weight of all the guilt of polluting the air with such an unenvironmentally friendly car. David Attenborough, you can thank me later. It doesn't take long before I realise that driving this car is slower than a queue in Subway when you're stuck behind a group of old women who can't grasp the simple fact that the salad is free. So, as is the dog-eat-dog world of GTA, I completely John Marston the driver of a black ocelot and make my escape. Predictably enough, this starts a police chase and ends in wasting 10 more minutes as I try to escape. I mean, Christ, this game really seems to have it against me today, but these are the struggles I go through for you, my loyal subscribers. After the fail of a police chase, I find the sort of car that people have when they are 17 and they sit in McDonald's car park listening to really loud drum and bass and trying to pick up girls of a questionable age. Needless to say, this car won't do. So, I follow the driver of a Jester into a car park and wait for him to get out before I relieve him of his possessions and probably his life too. I never really understood why people gave GTA such a hard time for being graphic and violent, when it's essentially just a driving game with a few shooting scenes. I just think that this sort of media coverage is just so damaging and toxic for the gaming community. Anyway, now I've got a car more suited to this type of highly skilled challenge, it's time to highly modify it. I sped this part up and added some copyright friendly music to help it go along more smoothly. After I made my car into the sort of car that Batman's son would have driven if he had never followed his father's footsteps but moved to Tokyo and entered the drift scene, I decided to take her for a little warm-up spin. I actually really find it quite annoying that you can't put your seatbelt on in this game, as I'm forever flying 100 feet plus through the bloody windscreen and dying. But this time I must have crashed so goddamn hard that the car just upped and disappeared. Thanks a lot, Rockstar, you're really helping me out today. Luckily, I had foreseen this sort of mishap, so I had saved the game earlier when I changed into a more appropriate outfit. Now it's time to get the ball rolling with this thing. When me and the boys used to do this challenge, we made up a rule that the rampage had to start with us punching a fat person. I don't know why, but this was honestly just a footnote in the whole list of dark behaviours that we'd come to grow whilst we were at uni. However, seeing as this was 6 years ago and times have moved on a lot since 2013, I decided that in the name of equality I would start with a fat white man, a blonde woman, a pug, a fat white lady, a businessman, 2 hipsters, a fat black lady, a fat Asian man, and a woman walking her dog. It was finally time to let all hell break loose, although upon looking at my weapon wheel I had realised I had forgotten to buy any ammo. This was obviously a massive oversight, but I've always said that I'm the type of man to come up with solutions, not problems, so I improvised. I'll be honest, I'm not surprised that Los Santos had such a bad reputation. I literally murdered 10 people and still had time for a quick wank whilst I waited for the police to arrive. That's seriously shocking. But now, they'd finally arrived, so I gave them a taste of what was to come, firing my only RPG at the first car I saw, and after a few more shots, I was up to the magic 4 stars and the chase was on. Another one of our funny little rules was that we weren't allowed to take the freeway, as this was less fun and a lot easier, so we went up through the Bollywood Hills. I'd love to say that I was the best driver ever in GTA, but I haven't played it in a while, and well, the result was that I crashed more often on the way to the mountain than Leo did in that scene from Wolf of Wall Street. It was fucking awful. But hey, it's all good fun, and before long we had made it out of Los Santos. I can remember seeing this YouTube video of someone doing something similar back in the day, but he would throw these sticky bombs at the helicopters and police and cars, and the explosions were awesome and it just made it look so goddamn smooth. Needless to say, this didn't work out anywhere near as well for me, even with Franklin's special little ability. Now, you remember earlier when I said I was a man of few rules? Well, here's an example of this. Usually, someone might take the road to get to their destination, but not me. Not today, sir. So straight over the cliff it was, like some sort of magnificent stunt driver. Apart from the fact that if this wasn't a game, Franklin would have ended up looking like a weird mixture of the Elephant Man and a cornflake cake. The rest of the drive was actually pretty uneventful, disappointingly, so I sped it up to lower the risk of you getting completely bored to death. The best part of the drive was always when you got to the mountains, but they seem to have patched it since they ported it to Xbox One, because back in the day, the police would be literally flying off the top of the mountain to get you, and you'd have hundreds of them all around you, there'd be explosions and gunshots, and it was quite fucking awesome to be honest. So this up-to-date rendition seems to be a bit lacklustre, but I guess that's what austerity does to the public services. You can't expect a decent police presence when you've virtually cut all their assets in half. It really is a sad sign of the times. So halfway up the mountain, my car decides it's had enough, despite me paying 50 grand for it to have top of the range armour, but I suppose it's cool. It's not like I can take it back after all the carnage I just caused. Anyway, I was running up the hill, and a strange thought hit me. This whole time I'd been imagining this as some really great, crazy, intense experience, and now I'd come to do it, I was realising that actually it wasn't half as fun as it used to be. I mean, maybe it wasn't the game after all. Maybe it's because I was having a laugh with my best buds that made it so fun. And maybe any game can be fun if you're sharing it with your friends and the timing's right, and maybe actually we're all just living in the good old days right now and it takes us to move on 5 years before we realise that they were the good old days in the first place. Nah, it was definitely because of those burritos. Anyway, that about sums it up for today. I know it was another different one, but I feel like diversifying my channel is going to be better for it in the long run. As I've said before, I absolutely love Battlefield and always will. But at the moment I just feel that maybe it's better to try and make some other videos about some other games. Anywho, thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far then I'd love it if you could subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments what sort of crazy challenges you've done on GTA with your mates. I'll be back again with another video in a couple of days, but until then, I'm Average Joel. Peace.